second time, a North St. Paul family is left looking for a handicap-accessible home that will fit their very unique situation as their children are battling a rare disease and just struggling to get around.
It comes after their first home, promised by a Metro nonprofit, never got done. Fox 9's Sarah Danick is looking into what went wrong.
This has been playing out over a year and a half. The Wallstrom family had been in talks with Journey Home Minnesota, a nonprofit that was supposed to be building that handicap-accessible home for them. But the work was stop and go, and the house never became reality. Now the family has to start the process all over again. You never know what the day might bring in the Wallstrom home. You might hear singing or be invited to a tea party.
Is it the best tea you've ever had?
I have two kids, Lydia and Drew. Lydia is going to be 15 next month, and Drew is 11.
And while there's lots of love, there are also struggles.
Both of my kids have a rare and terminal disease. It's a neurological disease called Batten disease.
Laura and Todd Wallstrom say the diagnosis came right before each child started kindergarten. They describe the disease similar to ALS, and it progressively gets worse.
There's a lot of grieving throughout the whole process.
Both children are blind, and speaking can be difficult. It's also hard getting around.
Right now, we will push her around in a walker or help carry her, or she will crawl.
Space is limited, and they need a new home. They started that search a few years ago. In the fall of 2017, someone at church connected them with a local nonprofit.
Journey Home then heard our story and they wanted to help.
The organization, run by former Ramsey County Commissioner Blake Huffman, provided affordable rents to veterans and families in need.
It seemed like a really good partnership to be able to work with somebody who had remodeled homes before and had helped, other people in need.
Journey Home bought a house in Maplewood, tore it down, and had plans to rebuild a handicap-accessible home. The plan was for the Wallstroms to purchase it at a reduced cost. It was supposed to be ready by this spring, but things were moving slowly.
Red flags are going off a little bit, like, is this the way it should be? Is this right? The leader, Blake, was still like, we're going to do this, we're moving ahead, we're making things happen.
But it never did happen. The home wasn't done after a year and a half. It still sits unfinished in Maplewood.
There was a lot of hope to what that end result was going to be and the timeline to that end result, and just to have that just be gone is pretty devastating.
The family said they met with Huffman in early spring to talk about ending the partnership. That's when they found out he had news of his own.
And then, of course, he was told us that he was closing down as well.
And all the donations to Journey Home for their dream home were gone.
Tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Now the Wallstroms are left looking for a handicap-accessible home for a second time.
Why does somebody get to this point, and how can somebody do that and allow that to happen, right, to another family, a family in need? It's unthinkable.
According to documents we've obtained from the Secretary of State's office, Journey Home Minnesota was involuntarily dissolved in March, but is now up and running again as a nonprofit as of May 23rd. Blake Huffman is still listed as president. The former Ramsey County Commissioner resigned from his position earlier this month after initial findings from an investigation revealed conflicts of interest for two Journey Home Minnesota properties that had received federal housing money. This is video of the board accepting Huffman's resignation. The county confirms the investigation continues. Now, we also reached out repeatedly to Huffman and family members connected to the nonprofit, but they had no comment or did not get back to us. Meanwhile, the Wallstrom family says they have filed a complaint with the AG's office and sent a letter to Journey Home Minnesota asking for their donations back. They're also looking into possible legal action. In the newsroom, Sarah Danick, Fox 9.